What is going on, everybody? This is Dave and welcome back today to the FM Scout YouTube channel. Today we've got another manager experiment, another legend manager experiment for you today. But before we get into it, if you do enjoy some Football Manager content, make sure you go and check out my channel. A link to that is in the description down below. We're currently doing an 1860 Munich save, currently approaching the end of Season 4 over there. But at the moment, guys, I'm really enjoying, as a viewer, watching all the stuff that's coming out on FM Scout at the moment. We're doing so much cool stuff, especially looking at players that have recently retired as well. We had Bood recently do Grandad United. If you haven't checked that out, go and check that out as well. Really good little team in the Premier League with all players very close to retirement. And today, we're going to be doing another manager experiment. We're going to be doing Steven Gerrard today. In the last video of this, we took Frank Lampard, who's obviously recently retired. We put him in charge of Chelsea. As you can see on the screen, these were the end stats. If you never caught that video, he finished in 3rd in the Premier League with Chelsea, a win percentage of 59%. Didn't win any manager of the months, and he didn't actually compete in any European competitions because Chelsea weren't in any. But today, as you see on screen, we're going to be going to check out Steven Gerrard, who's currently in charge of Liverpool. He's recently retired. He was linked with, I think, the MK Dons job just after retirement. But I think he currently works as a youth coach at Liverpool, I believe. Managerial stats are absolutely quality for him. Obviously classed as a Liverpool legend, man management of 18, judging player ability and potential both at 16. 17 for motivation, 16 for tactical knowledge. He's also got 15 for working with youngsters, 16 determination. Really, stats there, key stats for a very successful manager. He's got a preferred formation of a 4-1-2-3 with a defensive midfielder and wide players, direct playing style, tactical coaching style, cautious playing mentality, a closing down pressing style, and a mixed marking style. So, of course, just 36, so he's quite young for a manager, if I'm honest, but 114 appearances for England. He's definitely got the experience in the game. A quick look at Liverpool before we start off. Obviously, we're going to be starting off with the start of season rosters until the general kind of transfer update comes out. If we go on general, the media predict Liverpool to finish in 5th, so the job for Gerrard will just to be, well, to be under expectations is for him to get European football of some sorts. If you can push into top 4, then perfect. As you can see there, Steven Gerrard classed as a legend at the club. He hasn't got any continental or European competition to worry about, as did Lampard in the last episode, but soon we will get to some managers that do need to focus on that as well. Going to be starting off the Premier League season with Leicester, Stoke, Burnley, Arsenal and Spurs. A couple of easy games to start off, but then you can come on to some difficult fixtures in Arsenal, Spurs, Man City and so on. We're going to go forward to the end of the season then. We're going to be checking out how Steven Gerrard gets on. As well, guys, if you leave your comments for different Premier League clubs, so we're going to be doing Premier League for the time being, guys. We may then venture out abroad, but just Premier League for the time being. And then we'll look at different managers, because at the end of this, once we've done kind of 20 odd Premier League managers, we're going to put them all into one save together and battle it out, see who is the best out of the legends. But let's skip forward to the end of the season and see how Stevie G got on. Well, here we go, and as you can see there, insecure jobs, Steven Gerrard. That's an interesting one. As you can see, all his stats kind of remain intact, still on that same contract till the end of the 2019-2020 season. Positive is he's content with life at a club he loves, but yeah, he's in charge still, and possibly maybe just hanging on to his job due to the fact that he is a legend. Now, let's go and have a quick look at how he got on. Finished 8th in the Premier League, not great at all. Look at competitions for the senior squad. Finishing, obviously, media predicted down into 6th in the end, but he finished 8th, 3 points out of any sort of European spot. Knocked out in the semi-final of the FA Cup to the eventual winners, Manchester United. Knocked out in the EFL Cup by Newcastle. It went on to be won, rather, by the Premier League winners on goal difference, Arsenal. Arsenal seemed to do really well on this game for some reason. Check at the 2 transfers that Stevie G brought in. He brought in Jairo Riedewald in from Ajax for 22.5 million, rising up towards 34.5 million. A fairly solid centre half. He used him on a few games, only playing 10 games overall in the league though, and when he's paying that sort of money, you probably want to see him playing more games. Also bring on Deo Upamecano from Red Bull Salzburg. Not heard of him myself, to be honest, but it looks a pretty very good young player, if I'm honest. No major outs, it was all more younger players going out on loan there as well. So what went wrong for Stevie G then? Not great at all, was it? Not great. Top goal scorer is Philippe Coutinho. If we go on the Premier League, you got Joel Matip, who finished second in the most man of the matches. Other than that, no one else pops up. Some big goal scorers in the league: Sanchez for Arsenal, Aguero for City, and Troy Deeney for Watford. Hull, Sunderland and Middlesbrough went down in the end. So let's take a look. Let's see where, fixture-wise, where they went wrong. The tactics who we're using were the 4-1-2-3. It looks fairly solid to me straight off the bat, but let's have a look schedule-wise. So let's start off just looking at the Premier League. Then we'll look at them all together. So we started off fairly well, look. No loss in the first 6. He went on a little run then after getting smashed by Man City. But then, you know, a bit of an inconsistent run. 1 win in about 9 games up until Christmas. Then he went on a fantastic run. Just 1 win from the end of the year up until the middle of March. And this has cost them. This has cost them a European spot. Losses to Southampton. Drop points to West Ham. A loss to West Brom at home, a loss to Sunderland away, and a loss to Manchester United. But winning any of those games, and they would have seen European football. Ended the season on a high by beating Chelsea and getting a win against Watford and a point against Swansea as well. But if we factor this into the FA Cup and so on as well, losing out to Manchester United at Wembley in the semi-final, but beat Chelsea after a replay, beat Carlisle United, beat Preston North End and Spurs as well. EFL Cup out in the 4th round, beat Bristol Rovers after extra time, albeit with a rotated side, beat rivals Everton again. Not the strongest side you've seen. There are some strong players there, albeit, but they played Trent Alexander-Arnold as well. And then losing out to Newcastle again with a fairly decent side out, a few rotated players, but it was after extra time. Newcastle stole it right at the death. If we factor all these results together though, you can see that sometimes, you know, that little bad run was when they got knocked out against Newcastle and so on, and the FA Cup run as well added to a horrible run where they missed out on European football. So not the best of times for Steven Gerrard. Quickly before we finish off, we're going to look at the general info of the players. If we go on selection info, we see the player that got the most appearances was Philippe Coutinho, who seems to be one of the best players for them this season. He was also top goal scorer level with Roberto Firmino. The most assists was for Coutinho as well, quickly followed by Henderson on 6 and Firmino on 6. Best average rating though was Mamadou Sakho, who played 34 games for the club. Joel Matip as well, grabbing 33 appearances with a 7.46 average rating. So, probably not what we expected for someone of Steven Gerrard's calibre, especially on the game with those fantastic coaching and mental attributes. But overall, if you quickly look at his win percentage, 48%, so 11% less than Frank Lampard. Not brilliant at all. A much worse position there. We'll look if he won any Manager of the Months, which I doubt, if I'm honest. I really do doubt. Oh, wow, he did. He did win one. In August, he did, for Liverpool. So he won one Manager of the Month. There you go. He's beating Lampard on that front. He's beating Frank Lampard on one front. But if you look on the screen now, so Steven Gerrard below Frank Lampard, he's got, with Liverpool, position 8th, win percentage of just, what was his win percentage again? If I quickly go back on my screen, of just 48%. One Manager of the Month, but again, European competition, NA not available due to the fact that they weren't in it. But Steven Gerrard, at the moment, bottom out of the 2 players. We're going to be carrying this on with obviously some more players. We're looking at possibly Ryan Giggs next week at Manchester United or Arsenal. Who do you guys reckon? Thierry Henry or Dennis Bergkamp, Patrick Vieira? Let me know who, if you're an Arsenal fan, who you'd like to see in charge of the club on this experiment. Until next time though, guys, make sure you smash that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. There's some fantastic stuff coming up on FM Scout. Daily content always. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. And if you haven't already, check out our website where you can find graphics, databases, all sorts of that stuff, just to help enhance your game a little bit more. But until next time, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. I'll be sure to catch you all very, very soon.